Well, hey there. Today we're composing the last section of this brackets loading music. It's for during this tournament mode where you're either listening to this before the tournament starts, or if your tournament ends a little early before the next round of tournament ends, you hear this music for a couple seconds before the next round of tournament begins. So we're going to be cooking and cranking on this. Actually talked to the developer today, and what's really interesting is instead of having this be a full 2-minute piece, we're actually just going to be stacking one more little section here, and then we're going to be done with this piece because it's going to loop. So the only change that the developer and I made, the developer asked for, was that the drums be taken out here. Interesting choice. He's got such cool perspectives on things. I never know what he's going to say. And he had a really cool perspective on that. So that was a really cool change we did there. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to play this music for you that we're going to base this next section on. We're using this League of Legends as our influence primarily for creating this. Again, this is Dev Direction. This is one of the tracks that the dev picked out for us. And we're going to basically take it from the end of this cello solo here in the main theme, and we're going to do something similar here that's going to build, 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 and then that's going to be the loop point. So let's give this a listen, and then we're going to start to flesh it out. And that's going to be our loop point. Now, Lemura Mystic Cat asks, who's the developer? Well, I don't know if they want their name out, but the game is Medieval Legends. Oh, no, the developer of the studio. They'll be fine with that. If you look in the linked, like in the video description, if you watch this video on YouTube on Music Mentor Dan, you're not hearing it on your end. Apologies. Let's do this. You'll probably be able to hear it now. Tell me if this sounds... Yeah, and that'll be our loop point instead of going into a big theme there. So we may actually adjust here because in the same way we could hear the harmonies actually doing something radically different. Right, and I'll play you mine. You can hear that the harmony is like da 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 da, and then it goes into like the next section. So we may do something like that here as well. My goal for this time here, we've got about 40 minutes right now before I've got to hop on to my next thing that I've got booked here today. So my goal for this is to outline what we're going to be doing in terms of first the chords, the harmony, and then figure out what we're going to be doing in terms like the ostinato strings that are hanging out. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And again, if you want to check out the game, I've put the link in the description to the link tree. You can check out the game, check out the developer, and check out everything that's going on with it so far. The game, again, is Medieval Legends. It's kind of like Clash of Clans, except you can't pay to get an advantage. You got to earn your advantage through getting skill yourself. You cannot buy advantages, which is pretty cool. I've enjoyed playing Clash of Clans a couple times, so I'm stoked to play this. All right, let's cook it. Let's play from here. Yeah, so we're actually going to extend this idea here. And we're going to start with the brass. And then I'm going to see if we can't get a flat 6, flat 7, 1 cooking in here. Taking it a little further. Plus, the developer was like, hey, can you get it to like 1 minute 20? I was like, sure. Yeah. We'll get it to 1 minute 20. All right. Oh, these guys. That'd do it. That would do it. Yeah. Oh, I see. And I will hop back and look at the chat in a second here if you're telling me something important. No, that's not what I wanted. Put it up here. I want to start from here. We should also test out, I wonder what an A augmented would sound like, because it has the F in it too. Yeah, I love that. That little sharp 4 in there. Let's listen to that. That'll do it. And this is where the actual interlude is going to start here. And we're not going to do a main theme. And so we're going to aim to take this out to about 1 minute. Yeah, that's 120. All right, so we're going to aim to take it out to here. I'm not sure if we actually will. We shall slee what we shall slee. All right, let's listen one time from the top here, and then I'm going to check out chat while we do that. I just want to see what this whole thing feels like. they're clashing against that F there. There we go. All right, back to reference track now. All right, so we do tremolos, and we're going to do like A suspended chords with L tremolos. All right, we'll do string section mid tremolo. Yeah, would there be a way to make it so I have fewer tracks? Yep. Definitely would be. Want to do that right now? Nope. Nope. No, I'm not. All right. Tremolo. All right. Is that exactly what they did? I don't want to copy them. Yeah, do something slightly different, for goodness sake. We're going to do a sus2 instead of a sus4. That, kids, is one way to be original. It's a way different pattern. Also make it so it's like uneven, so it's not going to hit. There you go. It's like every 2 measures it repeats 3 times. Love that. Okay, maybe tremolo isn't it. Maybe it's literally just going to be making them bow it. See what sound we need to do to get this to do the thing that we want it to do. I promise you this, we will find a way. All right, let's see what happens with this. And then we're gonna make this, instead of tremolo, we're gonna make it to be accent. I'm gonna put this to be something else. It sounds like old, it sounds so MIDI. It's like an old Pokemon game or something. Okay. Not that that's a bad thing, that's just not the sound I'm looking for here. Okay, let's try staccato. Okay. Gets us to 111. What happens next in our reference track? Got it. So really, we actually want that this long, and then we want to change it into something else. We want to actually start ascending. Okay, so I just don't think this is the sound for this. Need to humanize this. How do we humanize logic again? Edit function. Dequantize, MIDI transform. Humanize. All right, let's humanize it. I want the velocity humanized. That's no doubt Cub Scout. So velocity up, down, plus length. No, I don't want to do that with, yeah, with length a little bit. Do a little bit. And then position. No, I don't want to do that. But length we can. I think that's on the wrong side of things here. And let's see what that does. Still sounds so much like MIDI. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. But that's not what I'm looking for. Play. What you doing? In the words of Charlie Puth, what are you doing to me? What are you doing? Ah. Oh, did someone change the tempo? Oops. That's too much randoms. That's too random. Okay, so a little less random, but still randomize it. Ugh. Just sounds so MIDI-ish. Someone get me an orchestra. Someone get me an orchestra. That was too much. Sure, let's try that. Yep, too much. Again. Better. I'm spending way too long on this. All right, let's move on. I'm getting caught up in details that do not matter. I'm going to hear this anyway. It's going to be buried under a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. I'm just going to do literally that last 10 minutes. It's okay. I wasted time. That's all right. And here we are. We're back. Okay. All this up an octave. I'm doing here, I'm like saying, okay, how are we going to create this thing where we're going up and then we're going to go up once more and then we're going to hit to this peak and the peak is going to be the loop. I'm going to save that high A. And that's what we're looping back to. So. Bring back harmonic minor here. And right here, we're going to change it to accent. And then loop, right? Or am I early? Oh, no, I'm early. What if we just loop there? What if we loop at 31? How about that? I got that a little early, and that's all right. Build. Now loop it. Cool beans. Oh, and then let's also, we actually don't even, I don't think we need that. Yeah, didn't even need that. All right, let's listen from here. See what that loop sounds like. Maybe we let it sit for just a second here. And then we do it. Yeah, cool. And that's where we loop. Type 4 in the chat if you're seeing some cool things and you're enjoying this. All right, now we've got that mapped out. That takes us to a total of, count it, 118. You might go, but Dan, you ended it in the middle of a measure. Yeah, sure did. Call it a measure of 6/8. We already had one back here, so we had another measure of 6/8 here, and that evens us out. How about that? We'll call it even. All right, let's go to our reference track and see what layers we might put in here to get a similar sound. All right, so we have a lower string. Also, test out some woodwinds. Then we got these big brass swell things going on. And then we're also going to have, let's get our second string situation done first. We're going to write something here. And, one day they'll make diatonic cut and paste, but that day is not today. What? could have this all be parallel motion, but we may get a little contrapuntal up in here and test some things out. Yeah, maybe we don't do that blues note there. How about make my life a little easier? When in doubt, go back to A and get some different types of motion going on here. Now I'm going to be like, yeah, sure. I'm really thinking in terms of harmonic minor. Cool beans. Cool. We got that outlined. Filling in the rest of this is going to be a breeze, and we'll do that tomorrow. So I've got a couple things to do this evening. Got a couple calls, got a couple clients to help and such. So we're going to jump off and do that. Thank you so much for joining me here on our, what is this, part 4 of this track. It's almost done. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to be finishing this puppy up, provided I have some time in the morning. And then we'll get a rough mix on it, get it out to the developer for approval. And then if the developer approves it, we'll be cooking on to the final track for the preliminary delivery of release of this OST. It's going to be super cool. All right, y'all. Take care. I'll see you next time, and goodbye.